Why am I not growing on social media? What content should I post? How can I turn more followers into clients? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Robin. I help new and relatively new online nutrition coaches to clarify their offer and attract their first couple of clients on Instagram. Many nutrition coaches struggle with creating content that turns followers into clients. And you're wondering what content you should post that resonates the most with your audience. Creating content often feels like you're flying blindly. You're sitting down to come up with some idea that feels good. And you think, oh, this is probably something that my audience will like and find helpful. So you're relying on your gut all the time. And if you're struggling with confidence or imposter syndrome, you might even never post at all because you feel like it's no good. Don't get me wrong, our intuition is powerful, but it's also limited. We easily discard content ideas when we think it's not valuable. Our audience often feels quite differently, and you have experienced this yourself. You post one of these 80% posts because you were a little bit in a rush, and this becomes your most successful post. So it's helpful to challenge our own perception by looking at cold, hard data. Instagram Insights provides a ton of insights you can use to inform your content creation decisions. It shows you what content gets the most saves, reaches the most people, and gets the most comments. And I'm sure you have already looked into your Instagram Insights but felt overwhelmed. You didn't know what was meaningful and what wasn't, and you struggled to actually read the data. You sat there and felt more confused and less smart than before. You left there wondering, why is it there and how can I use it? Let's talk about how to start using Instagram Insights without feeling overwhelmed. We'll keep it simple and practical so you can use the data today to make important content decisions. And you won't be stuck in front of your phone tracking 680 different numbers every week. This approach is simple and can be done once or twice per month. And I'll show you where to look to find data that is actually meaningful and how it informs your content strategy. After watching this video until the end, you no longer have to guess about what works for your audience. Your Instagram Insights will tell you. So let's jump in. If you're watching this on your computer or your tablet, grab your phone and follow along. First stop, the homepage. So go to your profile and click on Insights. By the way, if you don't see a button with Insights, leave a comment with tutorial and I'm happy to share a guide how to get access. Notice at the top the last 7 days. That's your data range. You can change it to have a more longer term view, but for now we leave it there. Next, accounts reached refers to the number of unique users who have seen your content. This number naturally fluctuates from week to week, especially if you don't post as often. But on a high level, it tells you how many people you have seen your content. And that's our goal. We want people to see what we post. Next, accounts engaged is the amount of users who have seen your content and interacted with your content. Since our goal as coaches is to start conversations with our followers, this is a good number to see if more people raise their hands and signal I'm interested. This number naturally goes up and down, but on a high level, you see if you start more new conversations. After that comes total followers. It's the number of people who follow you. Big surprise. Before we dive deeper, I like to use this overview as a rough health check of my account. If all numbers are green, I'm doing something right. If some numbers are not green, it's an indication to dig deeper to see what might be going on. So let's start to dig deeper into the first section, accounts reached. The first part is reached audience. It shows you how many unique users have come across your content. Your reached audience will be broken down by gender, age, country, cities, and so on. This breakdown can be powerful to further clarify your niche. I like to use it to inform my stock photo choices. So with most of my followers being between 25 and 44, I like to use images of people in their mid-30s so my audience can identify with them. And my gender split is almost 50-50. It tells me that I should use equal parts female and male examples in my content and my stories. I'm not checking this part every time I use Instagram Insights though. But if it's your first time looking at this data, spend a little time here understanding who is following you. create a mental image of how their lives might look like. The next section breaks down your reach by followers and non-followers. This section is particularly interesting for me. My current goal is to grow my following, so reaching almost twice as many new people shows me that my current strategy works. However, if my goal was to nurture my current audience for an upcoming launch, I would change my tactic, because based on my numbers, I'm only reaching half of my current followers. Directly under that, you find content reach. The content reach sections allows you to see which types of posts have reached the greater number of people. This section is something that I look every time I go into Instagram Insights. What I'm looking for is first is the overall reach of posts and reels. As you can see in my example, they are roughly the same. I'm happy with it for my current goal. However, what if reels had only a third of the reach? I would change my strategy, do fewer reels and do more posts. If the reach of my posts were low, but the reach of my reels are high, I would post reels more often and single images. And why single images, you may ask? Because on my channel, they tend to have a higher reach than carousels. Okay, but what if the reach of both posts and reels are low? I would focus on single images and carousels to nurture my current audience. My goal would be to create more engagement with the audience that I already have. This will help me later on to achieve a higher reach. Underneath this section, you find a breakdown of your content based on reach. I look more closely into these sections when I see an indication that I need to change my content strategy. For example, are single images or carousels getting more reach? In my case, single images tend to do better, particularly memes. So if I had to increase my reach, I would post single images more often, particularly memes. Similarly, you can check what reels get the most reach and if there is a pattern. I cannot give you any insights right now from my account because I'm still experimenting with reels and to see what works best. The last part that I check is at the bottom of the page. It's profile visits and website tabs. Profile visits is an indicator for me that people stop scrolling because they're curious about my content. I like to think about this as a precursor to followers. And website tabs is how many people clicked on the link in my bio. My focus currently is getting more followers. That's why my bio and my call to actions keep people on Instagram. If my goal was to get more people to download my free resource, I would also look more into story replies. I tend not to send people to my bio in my posts anymore as often because it decreases the engagement and it asks a lot of your followers. Accounts engaged refers to the number of users who interact with your content. The most important section here is content interactions. The content interaction shows you the total number of people who have commented, liked, saved, shared, replied. What I'm looking for here is roughly an even split between likes, comments, and saves. As you can see, likes dominate both other engagement types on my account. I aim for an even split because for me it shows a diverse content. Now that I've identified that I want to increase my comments, I can go into the following section, Top Posts. From there, I study the top posts with the most comments. My aim here is to identify what made people comment on these posts. Then I try to post this more frequently. Another option is to go to YouTube, for example, and learn what types of posts get more comments. And you can check out this video where I broke down what type of content brings likes or comments or saves. This approach works for Reels just as well. When you're currently selling or actively promoting a lead magnet, another important section is top story replies. So test different story formats and different languages in your story to see what brings the most replies. And when we go back to the home page, we can choose the last section, total followers. Here you can see how the number of your followers change based on follows and unfollows. I tend to not to pay too much attention to this because I don't mind when people unfollow me. If they don't like my content, they won't work with me anyway. What I track, however, is the number of overall new followers divided by profile visits. This number indicates how well my profile converts new people into followers. And my goal is to set up my account in a way so it converts 20% of profile visitors to followers. Another helpful metric that I regularly check is at the bottom. It's most active times. I like to post 30 minutes before most of my followers are active. Now that we have a better understanding of where to find the data, how can we start using it? And here are my two favorite Instagram Insights rituals. On Saturday, I create new content ideas for the upcoming weeks. I first check the reach of the past week. If the reach of posts and reels are roughly the same, I keep the ratio of posts and reels the same. I then check the content interaction sections to see if the engagement metrics are roughly the same. If they are not, I make a note to focus more on comments. And then I quickly check my post insights to see what posts got the most comments, especially in the last 3 months. From there, I start brainstorming how to create more posts like this. On Sunday, I write and schedule my content. When I do that, I go into Insights to see when are most of my followers active on any particular day. And then I schedule the post 40 minutes before that. Every 2 weeks, I have a reminder in my calendar to check some of the more long-term stats like profile visits and followers. My goal here is to keep them growing. I hope you learned a ton about how to use Instagram Insights. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I respond to every single comment personally. And if you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Every Monday, I release a new video on how to clarify your offer and attract clients on Instagram. You can also reach out personally to me. My handle is here. Now check out these videos on what type of content creates the most likes, comments, and sales.